For some reason, this is something I've honestly wondered about since I became an Uber driver and experienced firsthand. I don't get it, but Uber drivers are all considered this like underclass of people. It's like there's this expectation that we're like lazy or devious or opportunistic or just trashy, like that we're up to something. You can see this in this story. The fact that this guy wasn't even an Uber driver, but Uber drivers are now associated with him because there was like an expectation of it. And honestly, since it's happened, I've been called a murderer and I've been asked like, oh, be careful, he's gonna kill you, or I've been told, oh, you're gonna murder it. Don't get me wrong, I understand it being safe, but it's like I don't get why people's mind jump to that, why the Uber driver never gets the benefit of the doubt. Consider for a second the plight of an Uber driver. Under nothing but his own volition, he has no boss. He has no one to tell him when to clock in or when to clock out. He gets in his own car, using his own gas money, puts his own self at risk to try to earn an honest buck and better his own situation, whatever that may be. Instead of sitting on his butt at home and waiting for the world to come to him, like so many of us do. Now, consider the plight of the average Uber passenger. Drunk. Very drunk. They spent the last 3 to 4 to 5 hours in a bar guzzling down America's last legal drug. And for some reason, the Uber driver is never given the benefit of the doubt. Why have a dash cam? There's literally only one story I could find about an Uber driver killing passengers. And I don't mean like in self-defense, which unfortunately has to happen a lot. And I don't mean like, a car accident, which also unfortunately happens a lot. But that could happen to anyone driving a car, right? I mean an Uber driver who sets out to cause harm to other people. And it was that story, I don't know if you remember, I think it was in Minnesota. There was a guy who was shooting people in between Uber rides. And to be honest, he wasn't even killing the passengers. So you were actually safe as being his passenger. All right, I'm kidding. I wouldn't want to ride with that guy either. But it should be noted, he still took his job at Uber seriously. He got his passengers to the destination and he didn't harm them. So it's hard to find stories about Uber drivers assaulting or harming others. But Google drivers getting assaulted or getting killed, and honestly, the results are pretty scary. And it reiterates how little people care about drivers because these aren't the stories that you hear about in the news. For instance, how many of you heard about this story? And this story, of all the others, really puts things into perspective. Grant Nelson was working Uber when he picked up a 16-year-old girl at 3:18 a.m. on a Tuesday from a Walmart. On a Tuesday. If I'm him, I'm thinking, this girl's too young to be coming from a bar. She probably works at Walmart and just got done an overnight shift at 3 a.m. Truth is, this chick just stole a machete and 2 minutes into the ride, completely unprovoked, stabs him to death. There are numerous other stories like this, but they're all swept under the rug because it doesn't benefit the narrative that's out there, because people don't care, because, to be honest, I don't know. But it's sad and it's scary. Honestly, now that I'm looking into all this stuff, I think I may do a video on how to be safe as a driver. This stuff is nuts. And these aren't the stories that politicians are rushing to make laws to protect drivers. And anyone who is a driver knows that as much as Uber and Lyft say they care, there's only so much they can do under the umbrella of the fact that we're independent contractors and we have to operate on our own. The best you're getting from Uber and Lyft is that the passenger who committed something against you is going to be banned from the app. And I'm not even saying they're required to do more. That's part of being an independent contractor, and that's part of things being flexible. I get that. I'm Driver Ed. If you like this video, let me know, because honestly, I don't really enjoy making videos like this, but this is the kind of crap you people like to talk about at parties. Plus, I wanted to stick up for drivers a little bit because drivers always get thrown under the bus. And it's like, hey man, stop hating. Start appreciating. You know? Deuces.